super hard to deal with for many people. It is not an overnight thing, so don't feel like a failure if you lose control of your food, because it really is a learning process. You need to just learn more about you, your habit, your behaviour, how you react around food, and kind of learn new habits behind that. So if you know you're someone that gets really stressed at work, gets upset, goes home and takes out on food, then you maybe need to find a new way to react when you kind of feel stressed, or when you're tired, or when you're on your time of the month. You need to find a new way to deal with it so that you're not turning to food. So you need to kind of understand your own self first, and that is again just by checking in with yourself weekly. Why did you overconsume on Thursday? Stress, children, hormones, whatever it is, manage it in a different kind of way that works for you, like a bubble bath, watching an episode of Suits, lighting a candle, reading a book, anything that just makes you feel a little bit better, rather than having food, because if we have food, we're going to feel guilty, we're going to feel sad, and it's a downward spiral after that. And even if you do have a time that you fail and you fall behind, don't panic, it's okay. Just kind of turn it around the next day. Be like, right, okay, yesterday was a little bit of a hiccup. It is cool, it's 1 day out of 10 weeks, it's not a big deal. As long as I get myself back on track tomorrow and keep going from there and take it one step at a time, rather than completely going, ah, oh, fucked it, that's me, I give up. Alright, so failure is a good thing because you learn from it, so don't be too hard on yourself for failing. I fail all the time, and you just need to kind of pick yourself back up and keep moving forward. I find that this gets so overcomplicated for many people, more complicated than it needs to. Sometimes just basic is best, and we just need to get more of you in the kitchen cooking and actually using the facilities you've got. So that is one thing that I want to say, is that we need to start cooking food before we kind of make it complicated by taking protein shakes and tracking carbs and fats and all that kind of stuff. You need to just get yourself back in the kitchen and cook some meals. We also need to kind of get an understanding of how much energy are you consuming. I find it really hard to do that unless I use a fitness app. Sometimes it makes life so much easier to just scan the barcode, pop it in the app, and it tracks it for you. It's so easy. So you need to kind of see how much food you're consuming just now and look at your goals. This is when it kind of gets a little bit hard. So I'm going to put up a little bit on the table to show you what to do for your type of goal, and what calories and what you need to times it by to find out what you need to have. Okay, so this is a rough guide, alright? This is not the perfect answer towards your goals and what you need to do. Like we said, it comes down to mindset and your attitude towards food and what you can be consistent with. So if we were to look at someone looking to lose a bit of body fat, what we'd do is your body weight in pounds times 10, 11 or 12, depending on how extreme you want to go. So if you want to go and see things moving a little bit quicker, you can go for 10, or you can go for 12 if you want it a little bit slower and maintained, and just take it week to week or month to month and see how your body's changing and adapting. If it's not changing the way you want to do, then just be honest with yourself. Are you doing everything you can, or can you drop your food a little bit, or can you do more steps, or can you exercise more? So have a wee look, what's realistic for you. Would you rather have more food and train more? Then maybe sometimes that's the answer for some people. To kind of maintain your condition, if you're looking to build a bit of body mass, a bit of muscle, you can do your body weight in pounds times 13 to 14. Some people eat ridiculous amounts of food when they're trying to put on muscle, and sometimes that's not the case, and it can have a negative impact. It can make you feel sluggish, can make you feel quite crappy, and you will be putting muscle on if you are building up your weights and getting stronger. Once you kind of know a boundary of calories you have towards your goals, you need to kind of think how your week goes. So is your week quite stressful and busy Monday to Friday that you don't really get to eat much at work anyway? So why not have lower food midweek when you're busy and keep more calories for the weekend when you're out with your friends and you're enjoying life and you've actually got time to sit down and eat? So we've got someone that's 132 pounds times 10 equals 1,320 calories a day. Alright, so you could either have that a day and feel fine, or what you could do is break it down a wee bit. So we could have 1,200 Sunday to Friday, and at the weekend a little bit more food. Or if you're someone that wants to look into your training more, you can have more calories around your training and keep less calories on your rest days. And then overall, it will still be around the average kind of for the week. And it's just different ways you can play with your food. So if you did have a day where you overate, then you could easily have a lower day the next day and just make sure you equal your weekly average. Okay, so with food, if you're having pasta, potato, rice, bread, whatever it is, a carb is a carb, so it's a calorie, so it doesn't matter if you're having pasta or if you're eating bread or if you're eating rice or potato. None of them are good or bad, they're just calories, so you don't need to restrict pasta and you don't need to restrict bread. Just understand that bread might look less filling and less dense compared to maybe like 300 grams of potato. So you just kind of need to look at the calories that way. You would maybe have more calories left if you had potatoes than if you had bread. But none of them are bad. Food's fine to have, and don't be scared of any kind of food. As long as it's hitting your calories, that is the main thing. The protein intake. So I normally do your body weight in kilograms times 1.5, 2, it depends. So some people are vegetarian, some people don't eat a lot of meat, especially females. So for us to go straight away from a 60 kg girl, times that by 2, let's say that's 120 grams of protein. So that's quite a lot of protein to just have overnight if you're only eating 20 grams. So look at it weekly. Again, assessing what you're doing so you know if you're getting towards your goals, and don't be too hard on yourself if you're not. So if I'm hitting maybe 80 grams, that's better than what I did the week before. That's fantastic. I feel a lot fuller because protein fills you up a lot more. So if I can get it up to 100, and then I'm going to feel fuller again. So you just try and work it out week to week how you can kind of build your protein intake up. So that's one thing you could do. You can take protein powder, but as I've kind of mentioned a few times before, I don't have protein powder. I'd much rather eat a chicken salad or a tuna salad, a protein yogurt, a protein bar. I'd much rather eat food than drink it in a shake. So these things are not compulsory for you to have. And I'd much rather you got it through eating eggs, meat and yogurts, actual real food, and learning how to do it that way rather than relying on a supplement. Because a supplement should be a supplement. It should be something that you add on top when you can't do it anymore. So a shake is something I would just leave out, because also it doesn't fill you up as much as food would. It's liquid form, so your brain doesn't kind of recognise it the same way it would with food. And you know you're going to feel a lot fuller eating a chicken breast than a protein shake. Okay, so the main thing with your calories is just try and keep it as basic and simple as possible. Meal timing doesn't matter, but if you know you're someone that doesn't eat for a long period of time and then gets home and loses their mind and just eats everything in sight, then you maybe need to eat more regularly. But meal timing isn't going to be the difference on your goals. It's not going to make you lose fat if you stop eating after 8 p.m. I eat 10 o'clock, half 11 sometimes, just as long as you get your calories in by the end of the day. That's the most important thing. But just be aware, if you're eating late at night, the scales are going to be heavier in the morning just because you've ate more food. It's not because you've put on body fat, because you've ate late and went to bed and put fat on magically overnight. It doesn't happen that way if you're hitting your calorie intake. That is the most important thing. But just be aware of those kind of mindset and binging and habits and behaviours. Are you someone that overeats after not eating for a while? Then you know you need to kind of eat more regularly to keep the hunger at bay. One thing we all kind of need to look at is that you can out-train a bad diet. If your diet is extremely bad at the weekend and you're overeating and over-consuming, then there's no point being so restrictive midweek. Be as well eating more throughout the week and having a lot more control with your food because you don't feel deprived. So kind of understanding that food is so important towards your goals. Okay, so as you can see with food, it does get a little bit overwhelming, but just take it step by step like we have. So with calories, and you've picked your calculation and what suits you, if you can't stick to it, that's okay. Don't worry about giving yourself an extra 100 calories. See how you get on, because you'd rather have more food and be able to maintain it, rather than having less and feeling restrictive and losing control. So don't worry, everybody is completely different. So your friend might be on a different amount from food from you. That's okay. That's always about what you can stick to. So this isn't a one plan fits all kind of thing. You need to work things around you. So tomorrow we are going to move on to steps, and although steps don't sound like they're massively important, they really are. So tune into the next video and I'll tell you why.